Welcome to BattleTech in the Morning with Captain Nips. I'm Captain Nips. It's the end of the week, so it's time to bash some stompy robots in the BattleTech backer beta. And today is going to be a very special episode for a couple of reasons. One thing I want to get out of the way right at the top, I have a small announcement to make. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm actually going to be moving homes, which is a pretty substantial thing to do when you're in, the middle of your life and not a teenager or a college student. Got the whole house thing, gotta empty out the house, move the house, put it in the new house. So my videos for the next couple of weeks will probably be a little bit more intermittent. Probably won't be every day. And I'm sorry for that, but vicissitudes of life, real life comes first. Sadly, stompy bots are not our real life, as much as we would wish it. So with that out of the way, let's talk about today's video, because warm fuzzies. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get on my good side, just like in general or in life, if you know who I am, if you ever knew who I was in real life, you would know, like, giving me warm fuzzies is the best thing. I love warm fuzzies. And one of the things that gives me warm fuzzies is people saying that they like the videos. And I'm not, listen, don't go out of your way to give me likes or subscribes or any of that bull crap. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not interested in your likes or subscribes. Like, they're not my lifeblood. But when you do give them to me, it makes me feel very happy. And it makes me want to make more videos. And so a few days ago, someone watched a video by the name of Silentgob. Hi, Silentgob. And he said he really loved the videos, which, that warm fuzzy. And he said, hey, could you do a favor? I have this build in mind for a mech. Could you try this? Well, if you really want to sweeten the deal and get me to do something, you give me a warm fuzzy, you give me a compliment, and
welcome, Commander.
Yeah, kinda, of course, we'll roll over for that. So today, Silentgob submits an interesting build of the Hunchback, and part of the reason why I'm doing this video is that the build is actually, I'm intrigued by this build. I think that maybe with the application of some mech lab, this is a build of a Hunchback that could be useful down the road in the campaign. Granted, we don't know what the mech lab is going to allow at this point, but, take a stab at it. I'm going to put it up against your typical Hunchback lance. The pilots are identical. There's nothing special there. So let's talk about Silentgob's Hunchback 4PB that he calls the Punchback. So it starts with the 4P chassis, which is the laser variant. And it strips out a bunch of the medium lasers, and it strips out a bunch of heat sinks. And in their place, adds in a PPC in the Hunch, adds in jump jets, and then adds in a bunch of extra small lasers and rearranges everything in a way that I'm kind of super intrigued by this. So let's talk range banding for a second. One of the things that BattleTech designs, BattleMech designs, typically do from Canon is they'll equip a bunch of different weapons so that the mech has effectiveness at different range brackets. And Silentgob's design here is actually feels really tight in that regard. So it starts with a PPC in the Hunch. So that's going to give you your long range poke. It's not a lot of long range poke, but it's a good start, and it's long range poke that will also work at medium range, where a trio of medium lasers, one in the CT and then one in each arm, will help back that up. Once the enemies get too close, there are 5 small lasers on the build: head, center torso, and then 3 in the left torso. So you've got the PPC to start your engagements. The enemy gets closer, you bring the medium lasers to bear. Maybe you cut off the PPC for heat purposes. There are 17 heat sinks equipped to this mech, and I'll get to a side note about that in a minute. And then, if the enemies get too close, you've got 5 small lasers to bring to bear on the target. Also, jump jets. So you've got your death from above, you've got your moving for position. Now, this build of a Hunchback versus the 4P does sacrifice some heat sinks, so heat is going to have to be something you pay attention to. 17 heat sinks versus the 23 that are on the 4P by stock. Also, I discovered something that had been bothering me about the beta for a while now. If anyone remembers back to one of my Atlas videos, I had commented at some point that it didn't seem like the stock Atlas didn't have the right number of heat sinks. And I finally figured out why that is. It turns out in the beta that the game does not know how to account for heat sink allocation with regard to engine size. Per tabletop rules, if you have a very large engine, some of the heat sinks can get crammed into the engine and then they don't show up in the actual loadout. The BattleTech Backward Beta doesn't have that rule. So, when you tell the game, I have a 300 rated engine and 20 heat sinks, instead of the 10 internal heat sinks you would normally get and then some extra space to cram external heat sinks into the engine, you have literally, in this game, 10 heat sinks in the engine, and then the 10 external heat sinks have to be allocated somewhere, even though they wouldn't show up on the record sheet for the tabletop version of the mech. So the Atlas, in that video oh so long ago, that had some extra heat sinks that I commented kind of offhand, has to have them or else it doesn't have the right number of heat sinks. At any rate, what we have here is a great opportunity to test out a custom design against some of the stock designs in this game. I actually have high hopes. Silentgob, I think this is actually a really, on paper, a very viable build. And I am super excited to try this out. I'm going to take this to Alpine River because I haven't been there. Well, I haven't been to Big Lock in a while. Haven't been to Big Lock in a hot minute. So let's go there. And let's give this a try.
Commencing deployment. Mech warriors, prepare for...
So for the rest of you that have been watching my videos and have been sticking around, thank you, by the way. If there is a design of a mech and you're curious to see how it might perform in the BattleTech Backward Beta, feel free to throw it into the comments. And if it catches my eye, and I don't have a better idea for a video, it's entirely likely that I will pick it up, throw it into the game, and see if it sticks.
Command interface initiated.
So, since we've got the range bracketing of these mechs, let's just pull this up again. Again, PPC, trio mediums, 5 set of smalls for when punching happens. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move up. I'm going to move up the way, just toward the middle, and I think I'm going to try and occupy... I'd like to occupy the forest here and kind of get some early poking done, but I think perhaps I don't know. I don't know that I'm going to get there first, especially with all this water in the way. Let's see if we can keep to the land to let our movement go as far as it can. One of the delicious things of this game is that, you know, environmental effects actually are, you know, they apply. So you don't move very fast through water. You don't move very fast through mud. But you certainly move faster overland than through water. I would like to try and get the jump by getting into the middle of this forest first, but if previous experience holds, some portion of the enemy lance will get there before I do, and I'll be sad.
Move order confirmed.
Just thinking a little bit.
I'm receiving you.
Alright, let's get up onto the island. I actually seem to have gotten the jump here. Now this variant of the Hunchback that Silentgob came up with
Well, what do we have here?
has the same movement profile and the same armor profile as the stock Hunchback 4P. So
Receiving you.
it is a durable build with middling speed.
Aye, aye.
But if you hustle, like I did, you'll be able to get to the position you want. Which apparently the AI has decided to be putsy today. Very putsy because there's a Hunchback hiding still off of sensor range. Fantastic.
I'm here.
Alright, so let's start with Paradise at the far back of the line. I'm going to put him... Where do I want to put him? Actually, you know what? No.
Standing by.
Let's start with Wildfire. I want Wildfire to be at the front of the line because she is going to stand and bulwark. I'm going to put her right here. Start her with the tree cover and then hopefully... Hey, there's our fourth contestant. Hopefully then I won't have to move her and she can just bulwark up and soak up all the damage.
What's the plan?
Apex and Kraken don't have the luxury of bulwark. Swoop. So I'm just gonna set up position next to Wildfire, and then if I have to pull back, then I'll pull back. This turn I'll just move and guard.
How might I help?
Nope. Apex, where are you? I don't like that so much. Let's stand a smidgen behind the line here.
Hauling ass.
Haulin' ass. By Apex. I didn't know you knew such vulgarities. What is this guy doing? Oh, is he taking the long way around the deep water? Oh, that's a bad decision. That's a really bad decision. Speaking of bad decisions. Oh. Evasive move, how I miss you being really, really broken. I don't... It's a little bit hard for me now, because with the changes to evasive move and then having been pointed out that when I set up these lances with 3 crack shot pilots, that the movement modifier is not necessarily a thing that can save you. I feel real bad for Paradise because I feel like he's just going to get hung out to dry in basically every scenario now. Maybe Paradise is going to end up being my target bait here. I mean, 6 pips of movement modifier is a minus 30% to hit. You would think that that's enough to keep at least 1 alpha strike off your freaking cockpit glass. Okay, top of the order. We have a line of sight,
Standing by.
but does anyone have line of fire?
What's the plan?
Looks like
Awaiting
just
Receiving you.
Paradise, which I am not thrilled about because of this, because of the fact that he's going to have a 2-dot modifier and get hung out to dry. I really want to start putting weapon fire on this guy, but that might mean hanging Paradise out there to take a hit or two. I guess I can get up into this cover here. I'm a little afraid that that's going to expose me to the rest of the lance down in the river, though. Screw it. Let's see what we got. Okay. Somehow not exposing myself, which is amazing. Let's see what we got at distance. We're looking at minus 15%, I think, here, so he's really shooting at 70, 80, 80, 75. So movement modifiers, turning these into coin flips. Let's start out with our mid-range bracket. Well, you know, we got some heat scale to work with. Let's just... It's medium range, right? Phantom lasers. as one of the 3 medium lasers doesn't actually have an animation because it is set up in a location on this mech that doesn't exist. And whoo! Alright, so order of business number 1 on the next turn. Paradise is getting off that hill. Holy moly.
I'm receiving you.
Okay. How about let's go to somebody that does not have... Yeah, here we go.
On the move.
Does not have Bulwark. I'm going to move Apex back, and we're going to try some of this long-range poke. I'm going to try and focus just the long-range poke to, work the range banding
We'll
here.
go.
Precision strike. Also, that's a nice bonus. The setup on this Hunchback, if you just fire the PPC, breaching shot, totally works, totally great. So it gives this Hunchback a reason to have a pilot with breaching shot as Paradise gets lit up like a Christmas tree.
There's a hole in my armor.
No, there's not. Paradise, learn to read your freaking paper doll. My God, man. All right,
Commander?
Kraken. Can put some heat on this guy over here, on this 4P. We've got the mid-range shots.
On it.
Medium lasers bring them to bear. I think we... not sure what all hit with there. That was a little weird. I think I missed the PPC and hit 2 of the lasers. Yeah, this guy's definitely taking the long way around the deep water, which seems like just the worst idea right now. Wildfire has line of sight and exceptionally good 2-hit numbers. Let's make this happen.
Affirmative.
Yep. The Phantom laser strikes along with all the rest of the shots. We're liking that. What I am not liking is that Paradise now has just cover protecting him. Although maybe they'll change targets. Yeah, that's what I thought. Change targets to the ones that aren't covered.
On the blow-through.
Gonna have to
Internal
fix
damage.
that little problem. Alright. In fact, let's fix that first.
Standing by.
The AI might not know how to change their order up, but I certainly do.
On my way.
And I am not going to give up another couple shots on these mechs back here. Alright, so we moved down into the short range. Mid to short. Oh, come on. Let's just call a spade a spade. This is short range if the small lasers are on target. Time for Kraken to light this guy up.
Firing.
It's the Phantom small lasers come to bear. Woo, boy. Paradise is getting out of this. Lucky.
Minimum damage.
That was
Minimal.
200 damage that just sailed right by across those last 2 salvos. That did not
Yes,
somehow
Commander.
ruin his day. Here we go. We can get the whole party involved.
Moving to position.
Turn off the PPC. Turn up the laser burn. Oh boy, this guy is in a bad way.
Roger that.
Carving off armor. That's what we like to see. Alright, now this 4P looks like he's coming around on Paradise. Lasers abound.
I'm under heavy fire.
Okay, that was correct, Paradise. You are
I'm here.
in fact tactically correct. You are under heavy fire. So let's pull you out. There's no reason for you to keep taking shots like that. Is there a better place for you to run to, though? I guess I could pull up and tip of the spear here. I actually don't want that. I want him to be behind the line. But it's giving up his right side, which isn't in the best of shape. But... and also might give up my back to this guy, which would stink. But I'm going to pull him out. Yeah, this, I think if this mech just moves straight up on top of this hill over here. What are you doing? Oh my god.
Standing by.
You know, some days the AI, for reasons that I do not completely understand, is perfectly competent and puts up a really strong fight. And then there's days like this where one of them goes wandering off for reasons that I cannot even begin to fathom.
Fire in.
Ooh, headshot in there. Destroyed the AC-20.
Something
Alright.
good.
That makes this guy much less threatening. Like that. But he brings the salt in on Apex. Shot to the midsection. Not the worst.
Barely hit, Commander.
Even Apex doesn't think so. And the party laser goes wide. Right, so
Yes, Commander.
let's drill this guy, eh? Alright, turn around. Just enough.
Have no doubt it will be
I shouldn't be worried about the guy wandering out on the back 40 over here, but I didn't want to give up my back too much in that direction. Turn the PPC off. Plenty of heat sinks to sink this load. If I do my math from tabletop right, so that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Plus movement if you count it. 15. It's got 17 heat sinks, so plenty of heat scale to work with.
He's going down.
Laser the crap out of this guy. Not quite sure what just happened there. I missed a bunch of the damage numbers and could not tell you where they hit. I think they mostly hit the torso. Come on! This guy has a serious crush on Paradise.
Hole in my armor.
There's 3 Alpha Salvos now at Paradise
I'm receiving you.
from that 4G. Hey, you. Yeah, you.
Taking the shot.
Get lazed. Yeah, this guy is pretty much scratched. Let's see what the 4P up on the hill decides to do. Apex apparently is the other juicy target right now. Nobody wants to shoot at my bulwarked Hunchback.
Took a hard hit there.
Funny that. Wonder why.
Yes, Commander.
You know what? I could leverage the medium lasers for 75 damage. But this guy's standing right here. So let's leverage the fists for 80, shall we? I mean, he did walk right up and punch Apex. This seems only fair.
Physical attack.
Seems good. I think we will definitely take a moment in this match to leverage the melee ability of these mechs, give them a good test. But I think, from previous experience, it's pretty easy to expect that these Hunchbacks will be melee murder machines. So let's just keep up the mid-range stuff for now.
Locking on target.
Solid hits. Open up that one arm. What's contestant number 3 doing? There he is. Oh no, he changed targets to Apex. Apex armor holds.
Moving armor.
Apex's? Apex's armor holds. Oof. Alright, so we got 2 movement dots there. We got cover up here.
I'm here.
I want to kind of back Apex off just a smidge because she keeps getting shot at. And we're going to back this down to... Is this long or medium? Come here, game. Tell me what I want to know. Oh, somehow still kind of medium range. That's fine. We'll lay down the law with some lasers and PPCs. Let's see what this guy has to do next. Come on. Get close. Get close. Alright, Kraken now taking fire from that 4P.
I'm under heavy fire.
And it splits its fire to precision strike with a single medium laser on Paradise.
I'm under heavy fire.
Alright. Sure.
Waiting for orders.
It's not exactly the tactic I would have chosen. Speaking of tactics that I would not necessarily choose, but, I mean, come on. Come on. I gotta see how this works out. We know how this is gonna end, right? This is gonna end poorly for the other guy. Shot to the right torso. Here comes the... the Phantom Laser Brigade imploding the remainder of the right side of that mech. Oof. Da. Alright.
Commander?
Paradise. Let's back you off a little bit to the mid-range. And light this guy up with the remainder of your guns. Plenty of heat scale to work with. Oh, solid center of mass shot from the PPC. Puts down the second Hunchback.
Waiting for orders.
Wildfire will begin to chip away at this guy. So far, this is turning out pretty good. Like, Silentgob, I am very impressed with how this design is functioning and working out on the battlefield. The mix of the mediums and smalls and the PPC, it's got a good... Oof, jeez. It's got a good spread of range that it can work from. It is certainly deadly in melee. Speaking of which, let's just do that again because that was too much fun.
Confirm.
Shot to the leg. Here come the Phantom Lasers. There's 4 of them. There's the 5th one. Ooh! Phantom Lasers all hit that leg. That's gross. Shall we commence with the stomping? While this guy continues to try and find a path to the fight.
Commander?
Hey, Wildfire. Go show me that you can actually, you know, murk a dude in melee, please. Honestly, I should probably cult shot this guy to the leg for the purposes of salvage, but watching that happen with the Phantom small lasers is too much fun not to do it. Alright.
Reporting.
Speaking of
Location acknowledged.
called shots. Center torso, 12% to the right leg. That seems really low. Let's turn the PPC off because we don't need the extra heat right this second.
Target acquired and locked in.
Maybe there's some, maybe we can get there with this. Let's move to here. Move up.
Moving out.
Turn that off. Let's take a quick check of the paper doll. It's got 5 structure in that leg. I'm gonna fire on this guy. So 28% to hit the right leg. Let's just check the center torso. It's got 75 structure. So I have a little more than a 1 in 4 chance to hit this leg. If I fire 4 small lasers, one of them should hit that leg and blow it off because it's only got 5 structure. I'm trying to dial in this shot so as that I get the leg, but that I'm likely to get the leg, but that I don't just blow out the torso of this mech. So I shoot 5. I'm going to shoot 5. No, you know what? I'm going to chance it. I'm going to shoot 4. Shoot for the leg. I'm going to trust that my numbers work out.
Copy that.
Come on, RNG. Perfect. Phantom lasers killed the leg. A little bit of damage to that right torso. We bring a damaged AC-20 to the stable out of salvage. But, you know, it worked out. Seems alright. Now, we get to set a firing line against this guy way out in the distance. So, I'm just going to walk up here. I'm going to get the most height advantage. Ooh, speaking of which, I can get all the height advantage. Let's see
Yes,
who's
Commander.
closest. Probably... Yep, so that's Kraken. And let's talk jump jets. Oh, you can't get on top of this. Can't get on top of the spire. That's sad. Ah, well. Let's use the jump jets,
Engaging jump jets.
because we haven't used those yet. Take this moment to reposition and brace ourselves.
Reporting.
Yep. Sad day. Cannot jump jet to the top of that spire. But I do get to entrench once I get there.
Standing by.
Apex probably not quite gonna. It's not great. Let's go here.
Lifting off.
Another good thing about jump jets is being able to fix your facing at will at the end of the move. All right, come on, get up in the crease. You know what? You can have the first shot. Crud. All right, never mind.
Commander.
It didn't work the way I thought it would.
Awaiting orders.
So we'll just
Orders.
entrench. Also, for those of you screaming at your screens, yes, I did just notice that I have Fury. I probably have Focus somewhere in here. Let's all be honest with ourselves. This match did not require any focus shots. Like, straight up. We completely plowed this team. Come on. Where is this guy going? So, all right, let's just take a walking tour where this guy went. He spawned way back here. He walked up, around, and is walking now back. Sigh. All right, let's reposition ever so slightly
All right.
and get this entrenchment going.
Awaiting orders.
Like, we know where you're coming from, dude. You're on our censored. You're on our sensors.
Moving to position.
Just freaking walk up already.
Commander. Position confirmed.
Okay. Get that done. So close.
Waiting for orders. Yes, Commander. Awaiting orders. Ready for orders.
Really? Alright, I'm going to give this one more turn of standing here.
All right, but I'm ready to go.
Because I really wanted to just PPC salvo the hell out of this guy as he rounds the corner.
That'll keep my heat down. Roger.
But he is choosing to be a putz. Really? Come on. Alright,
I'm receiving you.
let's take a look. Where can Wildfire go? Anywhere that has a line of sight on this guy. Nope. Alright, let's just move over here.
Copy that, Commander.
Hunker down.
Reporting. Roger. Commander. I'm here.
Where's the hill workout? Okay, it's relatively flat behind here.
Confirm.
Trying to think of which of the 4 hunchbacks I've killed so far. Oh, really? Yeah, putz. My god.
I'm here.
Well, I don't want to draw this out. So
Here we
let's
go.
just, you know what, let's just freaking get in on this guy. With my jumping hunchbacks.
Awaiting
Which are a glorious, glorious thing to have. Ooh, hello. We have line of sight now. Do I have line of fire? No, of course not. That would be too easy. Move over here
Going skyward.
with Paradise's Angel of Death. Getting him the extra movement.
Yes, Commander. Prepping for jump.
Listen, contestant number 4.
Ready for
I'm
order.
going to play this straight with you. I'm even going to give you the first shot. I'm just going to jump in here with my massive movement penalties and my entrenchment. Do something with it. Oh, he's focused. That's good. He's firing on Apex. Damage target. It's a good place to start. Breaks open
They're blowing through my armor.
one armor panel. Oh, and splits his fire to fire at Wildfire, who was previously undamaged. You know,
Standing by.
how do you not have line of sight from there? He had line of sight to you. Game. Why be playing me like that? Seriously? This rock, apparently, is a one-way rock, like a one-way mirror, and only he can see through it.
Yes.
Who else can fire from this position? Apex can fire from her position. Apex will fire from her position with all of these very large guns.
Affirmative.
As we begin the grisly work of tearing this Hunchback into tiny
Yes, Commander.
pieces. Let's move up here. You know what? Let's move up one more spot. Why not?
Roger.
Let's get Kraken's small lasers in on this action, shall we? Take out the PPC, because now we are into
Roger.
chainsaw range. As we begin to melt the armor off of this guy.
Waiting for orders.
Wildfire. Yep. Just get all these small lasers on target. Absolutely no reason not to just completely melt this guy. Because, let's be honest with ourselves. This guy needs to be put out of his career as a mech warrior as quickly as possible. Speaking of quick, I see absolutely no reason not to exploit this. Because this looks fantastic.
Yes, Commander.
Get in there, Paradise. Show us what you got. Bam! Hard hit to the torso. Here come the phantom lasers. Shot to the face. Opens up the cockpit. Gives this guy something to think about. As he's got his possibly one turn left. Firing at Wildfire. With a pitiful alpha. He didn't even use all his guns. I can't, and I don't think he was at full heat. Hey, Paradise. Munch on this guy.
Yes, Commander.
Ooh. That's a rough start. And a knockdown. Can we sweep the leg? Can we get ourselves a brace of medium lasers?
Standing by.
Let's start with the leg that has a lot of armor, since I'm firing a lot of lasers.
Engaging target.
Some misses in there, but got one leg. Game's thinking real hard about
Aye, aye.
why it put this gentleman at risk like this. And Apex suddenly doesn't have line of sight, which is
Commander.
particularly weird. No one does. Apparently when you've fallen down, that makes things difficult. So, let's just get up on this
Here we go.
beautiful little rock over here. Badonk. Yeah, that's a line of sight. So, let's do this math again. He has 15 in the leg, 28% to hit, 95% to actually hit with the gun. So, this should do, right? And legged out. We kept the Hunchback intact. All right. Leg us some Hunchbacks.
Mission successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present for your approval Silentgob's design of the Hunchback. PPC in the right torso, 3 medium lasers, arm, and center torso, 5 small lasers, head, center torso, left torso trio, 4 jump jets, 17 total heat sinks. This is a really solid design. I think this could go a long way for a number of reasons. One, it doesn't have to worry about ammo. It's got good range banding. It has the Hunchback durability, even more so since it splits its weapons up across the different left and right sides of the mech. Has good maneuverability with the extra jump jets thrown in there. I could see this going a very long way in a campaign game. Now, there is one thing I do want to comment, that if you read the tea leaves a little bit, let's assume for the moment that the mech lab we get for the campaign does not allow us to change hardpoint layouts of the mechs. So, if you start from a 4P chassis, you can do something that is similar to this, I think, because it's got 5 small lasers, 3 medium lasers is 8 energy weapons, PPC is 9 energy. So that's 9 energy hardpoints. There are 9 energy hardpoints on the 4P. It will be more stacked up in the right torso because it's got that laser hunch. However, this is also assuming that a small laser, which is currently listed as an anti-personnel weapon and an anti-personnel hardpoint, can occupy an energy hardpoint. If I were Harebrained Schemes, I would keep the differentiation between energy, ballistic, missile, and then the 4th category of anti-personnel, which is where small lasers, machine guns, and flamers fit in. But also classify small lasers, for instance, as anti-personnel or energy. Flamers as anti-personnel or energy. Machine guns as anti-personnel or ballistic. So that those could more flexibly be put into hardpoints in existing chassis. Now that does open up to some cheese. For instance, if you take the 4P and then you cram it full of small lasers, you become a melee machine of murderous death. Or you can build something like Silentgob's build here that is more flexible, a bit more all around. But let's face it, 5 small lasers on top of a melee attack is kind of gross. But I like that kind of gross. And I really, really hope that there is at least a little bit of flexibility in the mech lab and the tinkering of our mechs come campaign time. 18 rounds, 32 minutes, and 8 seconds on this end of the week BattleTech in the morning. Silentgob, thank you for submitting this design for testing on the battlefields of the BattleTech backer beta. This was fun. I like this. I like this design. I could see playing this design on tabletop. I could see playing this design in the campaign if you can somehow fit something along these lines. A good design, and I hope you enjoyed the video. But that'll be all for today's BattleTech in the morning. I am still your tech in the lab, swapping out lasers for lasers. It's lasers all the way down, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you have a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, night. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Wonderful weekend. And hopefully the next video won't be too far off in the future, but whenever it comes, I will see you in the next video.